Kika. Kiki. Kika. All right, so in part 1, I wrote some more. I did all this. This morning I did all of this. Part 1, I went over special relativity. Special relativity and electromagnetics in the mathematics of electromagnetics, and part 1 of James Clerk Maxwell's books. Went over his 4 equations, and I understood them. Basically, you got the gradient. So these are Gauss's laws. Gauss's laws of electricity and Gauss's laws of magnetism. And that is that the closed surface integral of the gradient what I knew it to be was, if you have a closed surface, the amount of electricity field that is flowing outside of that closed surface, like a cube or a sphere, the amount of electric field that's flowing out of there is equal to how much charge is inside, whether it's uniform charge or at basically it's modeled as the center of the point. That's how much charge is inside. And if you do it for magnetism, Gauss's law for magnetism, there's 4 equations. These are 2 of them. Gauss's law for magnetism says if you take a closed surface of the magnetic field, it's always 0. Why is that? Because the amount of field going out is equal to the amount of field going back in. You can't break. Electric fields are point to point, and magnetic fields are a circle. Magnetic fields always resolve to a circle. So like when you have a magnet or the earth, all the magnetic field lines are concentrated in the middle. They spread out, they go around in a circle, and they concentrate back and go back in. So if you take a closed loop anywhere, you always get in going out. That's what I practically took the laws to be. But if you like, it's all about gradient and curl. Actually, I wrote it down here. I wrote it down here. Gradient is, I already know what it is. Let me just see what did I write. So gradient is a scalar field, like temperature or speed or whatever. I don't fucking know, but it is 3-dimensional. So if you got gradient of a 3-dimensional scalar value, all gradient does is gradient means derivative. So if you take the derivative of the gradient grad operator dot E or dot B, magnetic field or electric field. So gradient dot E or gradient dot B means the dot product, which is all the components of this added to all the components of this in a multiplication. So it's like derivative of x plus derivative of the EX plus derivative of the Y of the E field plus derivative of the Z of the E field. Now what that physically tells you is which direction, because it's a three-dimensional answer. Whichever component of the three-dimensional answer is the greatest, that's the direction in which it is changing the most. So you can specifically see how much the x coordinate is changing, how much the y coordinate is changing, and how much the z coordinate is changing. It's got to be three-dimensional. So if you take the gradient, it'll tell you how much, which coordinate is changing the fastest. It's a derivative dot product with the coordinates. And Maxwell, his equation is an integral of that. So it's like a closed loop of that. And that's for electric field and magnetic field. That's Gauss's electricity and magnetic fields. And there's other two equations were Ampere's law and Faraday's law. These are a little more interesting. The mathematical formula is the curl. So the curl is, once again, that gradient operator. But instead of a dot, you have an X. And it's not multiplication, it's curl. So you got to take the matrix and do the determinant of the matrix. You know, that's when you got three terms, though. 3 by 3 matrix, and take the determinant. And the matrix is X unit, Y unit, Z unit. Once again, 3 coordinates. Derivative of X, derivative of Y, derivative of Z. And E field X, E field Y, E field Z, or magnetic field X, B field Y, B field Z. And if you take that curl, that'll basically tell you Faraday's law of induction. So if you take the curl and the integral and the curl with respect to, or it's not an integral, it's just a curl. I don't fucking know. He was a mathematician, crazy ass mathematician. If you take just the curl of E, electric field, you get changing magnetic field with respect to time, which we use opposite. When we generate electricity, we want to know how much we are changing the magnetic field, and that's how much electric current or electric field we will get. That's how we generate electricity. That is Faraday's law of induction. Faraday, Maxwell in the math, Faraday's law of induction. Changing magnetic field, that's how you generate electricity. In a conductor, loop, generates electricity. And the last equation, the hardest fucking equation, and I told us this was the hardest one, is the Ampere-Maxwell law. So we have induction, we have Gauss's law of electricity, Gauss's law of magnetism, and we have Faraday's induction. And the last one, fucking Ampere-Maxwell, is how, once again, electricity and magnetism are created. The curl of the magnetic field is equal to current density plus changing electric field. I still don't know what the fuck that is. Jesus. What is Ampere? What is it? What is Ampere's law? So now what does the curl of a magnet? So the gradient tells you which unit is changing, which direction is changing the most. The curl tells you, the cross product tells you, the determinant tells you how much a three-dimensional field is swirling around, literally fucking swirling around. So if you were to take like a spoon or a stick and stick it in a field, and the field swirls like honey or whatever, I don't fucking know, then how much it's swirling in each direction is the curl. I have no idea how that relates to electricity and magnetism. Because if you swirl the magnetic field, that's going to tell you the current density plus the changing electric field. Wow. Jesus. That's nuts. That's nuts. What does it do, bro? Like one of them is electric induction. What is it, bro? Let me just type what it is. What is Ampere Maxwell law? What is it? Basically, it's the opposite than a magnetic field. So once again, I was looking at it left to right, but if you look at it right to left, yet again, a magnetic field can be created from a changing electric field. That's some crazy ass stuff. Because we never use a magnetic field. We never want to create a magnetic field. We always want to create electricity. So we change magnets with kinetic energy to create electricity. But we never create electricity and then change the electricity to create a magnetic field. That's some next level shit. That's some next level shit. That might be the answer to creating Ultron. That might be the answer to Tony Stark Industries. And that's what I did. Other than that, it came with a bunch of mathematics that I already knew. So I wrote that down. And we had Einstein's special theory of relativity, which was time dilation and distance dilation depending on speed. And I got that out of the way. And now I did part 2 of my research, which was all Einstein's theories on gravity, quantum mechanics, and how that relates to gravity. And I got to get to the bottom of this because I got to fucking write my book. And this history of the world, I got this history of the world book. That's not helping at all. That fucked me up some more. It showed me the map that Christopher Columbus used, and that fucked me up royally. So I don't know what the fuck anymore. I don't know. I'm fucking lost. But I got to write real science for my fucking book. I'm fucking lost. Einstein's theory of relativity. So gravity is a curved space-time fabric that bends around mass and energy. Okay, proof is black holes and big stars bend light, and gravitational lensing. We can see light from faraway stars because the light bends around massive objects and distorts them and creates duplicates, and we can see lensing from faraway objects and shit like that. Speed of light. If we take lasers from different colors from the same source, we take a laser from the same source and split it up into its colors and make them travel different distances. The laser has different wavelengths for the different colors, which means different frequencies. Frequency is literally how much the light is fucking traveling. No matter the wavelength, no matter the frequency, which is energy, no matter the energy, no matter the wavelength, no matter the frequency, it always travels at the speed of light. It always travels at the speed of light. Gravitational waves, ripples in space-time travel at the speed of light. Electrons travel at the speed of light. Electricity travels at the speed of light. Photons, light travel at the speed of light. Radiation is photon rays, gamma rays, X-rays travel at the speed of light. Radio travels at the speed of light. Electromagnetic waves, communications travels at the speed of light. All this shit travels at the speed of light, which is photons and electrons, though. So that's what I gotta get to. I gotta fucking get to photons and electrons because that's where this discrepancy comes in. All this gravitational theory of relativity and bending mass and objects, and another true formula is E equals mc squared, which works in nuclear physics. I don't gotta go too much into that, though. Nuclear physics, 1 kilogram of mass explodes to 22 megatons of TNT from E equals mc squared because you have c squared. But quantum mechanics, we use the uncertainty principle and the Higgs boson. Not the Higgs boson. We use uncertainty principles. 2 places at once. This would rip through space-time. How does time dilation, special relativity, not even general relativity, which is space-time, but special relativity, which is distorting time and distance? How does distorting time and distance or space-time and mass and energy and gravity work on the quantum level. They don't mix. So general relativity, space-time, massive objects does not mix with quantum mechanics, discrete quantum packets, no continuity, no continuousness, discrete quantum packets of energy, uncertainty principle, two places at once, teleporting, moving at the speed of light, spin, charge, mass, the quarks, the leptons, the bosons. So still, this quantum mechanics needs to be solved with Einstein's theory of relativity, which hasn't happened. The only two theories on that are string theory and loop quantum gravity, which is if everything's a fucking string, now we're just going deeper and deeper and breaking parts. We broke it into Higgs bosons, quarks, leptons, and now we're going to break everything down into strings. So a string makes gravity, and a string makes leptons and bosons and quarks. That's string theory. And it makes different dimensions. That's string theory. And the other one is loop quantum gravity, saying if all these quantum mechanics are teleporting and bouncing around like fucking crazy, then maybe the discreteness of the packets of energy, maybe space-time is discrete as well as loops, these quantum loops that are, instead of one unified space-time, is quantum loops. I said it was fucking like rings, like big rings, like magnetic field lines. Maybe that could be another answer. Quantum loop magnetic field lines. Let me write that down. Quantum loop magnetic field lines. Quantum loop magnetic field. One of the first things I thought of was with gravity, magnetism and gravity, because we don't know anything about magnetism, we don't know anything about gravity. Maybe magnetism and gravity collide, you know what I'm saying? And radiation, perfect. Because where there's high magnetic fields, you get radiation poisoning, which is electromagnetism, which is in fact radiation. So, but it's just magnetic, it's not a photon, it's just magnetic. And maybe that ties into gravity, so maybe these rings of, yeah. But we still gotta tie in Einstein's theory of special relativity to the quantum world and solve what the fuck light and electromagnetic waves are with the quantum world. That's all going to be solved. I've been working on it. This is part 2. And I'm going to put it all into my books. I'm going to put it all into my fiction books. I did the Egypt, the dawn of man, the Romans, the Greeks, the religions. I did the Spider Queen. I did the legend of the Drow, the Dark Elves. I did the tigers, dragons, Dota, Defense of the Ancients, Magic the Gathering, Disney, World of Warcraft, Activision, Microsoft. So I'm tying everything together and going to use whatever I have left in these books. Whatever I have left is going into these books. I got documents, I got pictures, I got images, I got theories, and I'm putting it all into fiction. I'm putting it all into my fiction. History, this little history of the world book, which is fucking nuts. And I believe part 3, which I'm finishing today, I've been working on this for literally 6 hours, bro. Part 3 is going to be this part 2 book and that history of the world book. Let me get it. History of the world. by New York bestselling author. Electricity and magnetism. We're going to try to unify light, electrons, all this shit that travels at the speed of light. Why is it so that speed of light is the unifying speed for all frames of reference, creating time dilation, distance dilation, special relativity? How to figure it out? It's going to be the answer in this book. And the remainder answers in this book. These two books. I read part 1, finished it all. Didn't really understand all those scientists that literally came before the 1900s. I haven't heard a single one of them. And they were all in the book, but I just skipped past it. Read all the theories. Now I got these two books. And we're going to do this quantum mechanics. After that, I did some planets, stars, and galaxies. Threw that there too. And got to get this quantum stuff. Then I got my, my proteins and my nervous system and my electromagnetics. This is special relativity, quantum mechanics. My electromagnetics. This is quantum mechanics, biology. And the last section I have left, which I got no idea what I'm doing for that. Maybe that should go in the book as well. Entropy and environmentalism. I even got Chinese religion in my books. But entropy and environmentalism, nanotechnology, renewing and processing waste, all types of waste, thermodynamics and renewable energy. It's the last section. And all this stuff is going, you bet your ass off it's going in my books. You bet your ass off. I did all of Egypt. That took me fucking 5 years to write Egypt. I finally finished it. What happens now? The Greeks and the Romans take over. I got another book, The Dawn of Rome, The Dawn of Man, Africa, Egypt, China, India. I got a film on India. The Renaissance, the medieval ages, the world wars, Europe, Native Americans. We all have that documented, but dragons, Antarctica, xenomorphs, journey of leaves, identity, fairy tale. It's all going into stories and books. It's all going into movies and books. It's all going into movies and books. All my life work. Dota, Defense of the Ancients, The Spider Queen, The Drow, Legend of the Drist, Magic the Gathering card game. All this Final Fantasy we have, and other video games we have, and other stories we have. My stories is gonna be there. My stories is gonna be. Took me fucking over 6 years, bro. 6 years. And this research I have with all these games and stories and works and science took me a lifetime. Took me a fucking lifetime. 30 years, 25 years, 20 years. Say 20 years. Say I was 15 when I started. That's 20 years ago. All right, so part 3 is the conclusion. I'll be done my research. And then it's all going into the books. I was going to documents. Right in the notebook. I already uploaded it to my cloud, my drive. And then it's going into the fucking books. Alright, stay tuned for part 3. Got Coca-Cola. Living off a big ass pasta I ate at 6 a.m. It's now 2 p.m. 8 hours I've been doing this. I took a shower. Fed the cat. Brushed my teeth. Took my medicine. It's Father's Day today. Got the house to myself for now. And I'm going to finish the books. Stay classy. Onwards.